Hello everyone and welcome to the Career Intervention Proposal K through 12 Group 1. This presentation is being brought to you by myself, Ryan Emery, and group members Roslyn Fierro and Brian Oney. This is for the School of Counselor Education at Adams State University, the course Counseling 528 Career Development for Dr. Sonia A. Sutherland.
For our group, the Career Creators, our career development theory is going to be the developmental approach. For our developmental approach, we focused on two different theories. We focused on the Gottfried's stages of individual development and Donald Super's lifespan life-space theory, more heavily on Donald Super's lifespan life-space theory. Now, within that one, this goes through different stages for different age ranges, and that's going to tie in the different characteristics. Some of the first stages include growth, exploratory, and establishment. Different ages within these is growth is from birth to 14 or 15 years old, exploratory is from 15 to 24, establishment is from 25 to 44. Characteristics within growth form self-concept, develop capacity. For exploratory, it's try out through classes, work experience, and different hobbies. And for establishment, it's entry skill building and stabilization through work experience.
The client population we have selected to design our career development intervention program for are the K through 12 public education students in the CUNA School District located in the rural town of CUNA, Idaho. The school district includes a total of 5,740 K through 12 students across 11 schools. That includes elementary, middle, and high school, in which we have developed our program for. And as you can see below, there is a demographic breakdown of the student population.
The developmental needs of our client population, who are K through 12 students in a rural area of Idaho, are significantly diverse and vary in degree based on individual circumstances, age, and grade level of each student. In many cases, rural students lack life experiences that other students may have because of the typically isolated nature of their families and communities. This can have an impact which can limit the career development opportunities of the student. This is why the development and implementation of a diverse career development curriculum by school and career counselors is vital for student success. Additionally, students in rural areas may face impediments to increase their career development due to lack of exposure to multiple career options and a lack of support from parents and educators. The ASCA, or the American School Counselor Association, translates the developmental needs of students across academic, career, and social-emotional domains into mindsets and behaviors to help students connect school to the world of work and to enhance their career development and readiness. Furthermore, students' career development needs must include opportunities that help explore their unique interests, knowledge, skills, abilities, strengths, and goals to create pathways for their future.
Our K through 12 career intervention plan is in the form of a career development program called Career Creators, which would be included as a component of our fully comprehensive school counseling program. While our fully comprehensive career development program would include a number of strategies and settings for implementation, we have chosen to highlight the classroom-delivered curriculum component of the Career Creators K through 12 career development program, which we have broken down into individual lesson plans by grade for each school level. For the elementary school age students of our client population, the initial lesson of the program is titled Superheroes, Superpowers, which I will be highlighting for the kindergarten age group and then be scaling and scaffolding up for the remaining elementary school grade levels. According to Super's Lifespan Life-Space Career Development Theoretical Model, elementary age students are in the growth stage, where they are exploring their self-concept, which includes things like their interests, attitudes, and abilities. At this stage, students must begin to learn about the world of work and build the skills necessary for achievement and future planning. Here, we have the Kindergarten Superheroes, Superpowers lesson plan for the classroom-delivered curriculum intervention component of our K through 12 career development program. This lesson encompasses standards from the Ask a National model and aims at introducing students to the world of careers, which includes career roles, responsibilities, and related skills and abilities. This lesson would begin by the counselor discussing concepts like work, job, and careers with students. They would ask students to think about any careers they might already be aware of. The activity portion would include displaying pictures of people in a variety of career roles, which students could then begin practicing to identify verbally. Assessment would include an individual pre-test and post-test of 10 career role pictures, assessing every student's ability to identify the career roles correctly. This would allow for the collection of numerical, quantitative scores for individual, group, and program evaluation. On these next two slides, we have some examples of the superhero career role type pictures that might be used for the activity and assessment portions of the lesson. In scaling the superheroes superpowers lesson up for grade 1 students, we add a skill identification component to the lesson, in which students would practice and be assessed on identifying career role types and one career-related skill or superpower. Moving along to grades 2 and 3, for grade 2 students, we add a subject identification component to the existing lesson from kindergarten and grade 1, in which students will practice and be assessed on identifying one subject area related to the career. For grade 3 students, we will have them create career characters of both of their parents or guardians. This will give them the opportunity to interview and learn more about the types of careers or jobs that they work. Students will be asked and assessed on their ability to include 2 to 5 career-related skills and responsibilities in their drawing and diagram of their parents. In grade 4, we will have students conduct a similar drawing and diagram as they did in grade 3, except this time their drawing and diagram will be highlighting themselves. They will be assessed on their ability to correctly identify 5 of their own skills or abilities and their one favorite subject at school. In grade 5, we'll have students begin to explore the world of work and come up with a top 5 list of the most interesting careers to them. Out of their top 5 list, students will choose one of their careers and role play their career role during a set mock career fair day that we will conduct at the school. Students will be assessed on their identification of 5 careers and accuracy of role play. Grade 4 and grade 5 also marks the age where students will begin being assessed on the formal inventory of the Childhood Career Development Scale, a career progress measurement scale conceptually designed and principally based on SUPER's 9 dimensions.
As our client population of K through 12 students from rural Idaho continue on their career development and academic journey from elementary into middle school, their exposure to new educational opportunities and more advanced curriculum will further assist in developing their self-awareness, career interests, values, and self-concept. They will also learn how to gather education and career information in regards to the world of work. By extending the Career Creators program into middle school, the lesson activities and focus are tailored for each grade level to meet the developmental and academic needs for all students. The middle school years mark the transition between SUPER's growth and exploration stage. Their developmental needs require continued increases in their self-control, concern for the future, competent work habits, and attitudes towards achievement in school and work. Career development lesson plans provided to middle school students must be sensitive to their physical and emotional transitions that students experience. The shift from elementary to middle school, students encounter multiple teachers, large school settings, block schedules, lockers, and new and different peers, as well as significant physical and emotional developmental changes during puberty. Students making the transition to middle school often experience decreases in self-esteem, increases in psychological distress, and decreases in academic achievement. This lesson plan was created for 6th grade students and will focus on the importance of developing interpersonal relationship skills and identifying values that further support career development, self-awareness, and self-concept. Administered during the initial 6th grade Career Creators lesson plan, students will be given a school-to-work career interest survey that has been developed by our team. This survey gathers student information in categories of personal qualities and values, peer relationships, activities of interest, hobbies and free time, and favorite subjects in school. The results of the survey will be entered into the student's middle school academic development portfolio, along with quarterly grades and standardized testing results. Students will then complete the same School to Work Career Interest Survey at the beginning of their 8th grade spring semester. The school counseling team will then analyze the survey data and compare the student's progression in categories related to educational pathways of interest, self-concept, and interpersonal relationships to the information obtained during their 6th grade school year. We will then evaluate whether the lesson plans are effective for career development for students in middle school. As our client population progresses and moves to the next grade level, we will slightly shift our focus from the career creators lesson plan that was implemented and delivered to the 6th grade population. Now in the 7th grade, students will begin to explore career opportunities that are based on their personal interests, hobbies, academic strengths, and life roles that may have changed since being first introduced to career creators in elementary school. Once again, as our client population progresses and moves to the next grade level, students in the 8th grade will be transitioning to high school soon, and the focus of our career development lesson plan will be on developing awareness of educational pathways that facilitate career opportunities. We will accomplish this by having the students research classes that will be offered at their respective high schools that correspond to their self-identified academic strengths and interests. 8th grade students will then complete the same School to Work interest survey at the beginning of their 8th grade spring semester.
And now it's on to high school. This is the lesson plan. We're still doing superheroes, superpowers, but we're only focusing on grades 9 through 12. Now, we're onto the high school student developmental needs when it comes to career development. I don't know if you remember at the beginning of the presentation, we talked about the different theories that we're going to be focused on. So we're still using super developmental theories. Now, this is kind of 2-in-1 as far as high school students go. That's because they're still in stage 1 and stage 2, which is that growth and exploratory stages. This is because of the age range that's with it. When it comes to stage 1, which is the growing, that's from 0 to 14. Now, the average age range when you're going to high school is 14 to 18 years old. So that's why there's 2 different stages. The second stage, which is exploring. Now that's from ages 15 to 24. So that kind of takes on from your sophomore year to your senior year and kind of goes from there as far as age ranges. Now within the growth stage, we're looking for forming self-concept, developing capacity, attitudes, interests, kind of formulating all of those kind of ideas. When the exploratory, this is the trying out phase of things. So you're kind of, trying out different work experiences, trying out different classes, seeing what really does interest you to kind of build that interest for what your career is going to be in the future. Now, we're going to start going through all the lesson plans for the different grade levels in high school. Right now, we're going to focus on grade 9 and 10, their lesson plan. What I'm going to do is I'm going to incorporate that superhero superpowers. And we're going to kind of go over income information as far as what is your goal for income in the future? Do you think you need to go to college? Do you want to go to college? And if you don't want to go, what are the pros and the cons? And if you do want to go, what are those pros and cons? The purpose of this is to, like I said, kind of weigh out those pros and cons of attending a higher education. Are you going to reach your ultimate goals in the end? That's what this is going to start kind of making them think about. What I want to start with the students is we're going to go back. We're going to take it way back into grade school. When we first started to implement this superhero superpowers, what superhero did you want to be? And what superpowers did you want? I want to tie it back into this moment right now. Bring it into the now. Do you still want that? Do you still want to be that superhero or still want those superpowers? And if you do, will it require a college education? And if you do want those superpowers, will it need an income? So if it needs an income, are you going to need to go to college? What are the pros and cons? And some activities that I want them to do is to kind of verbally identify and discuss career interests. What are your career interests for the future? What do you want to do? What was that superhero you wanted to be? Materials are going to be just a classroom, internet access to kind of go through and look for different incomes for different jobs. The objective is to identify those goals for the future. Start making those goals, that way they can reach them in the future. ASCA standards, or standards A, B, and C, all three are included in this lesson plan. This is only for grades 9 and 10. Time frame is only about 45 minutes or whenever necessary. Discussion would be to review the information that they found via internet as far as income, and is it something that they align with as far as career interests. To think further, I want students to consider the pros and cons. What did they list today, and keep that list with them, and kind of go back and forth and see, maybe that wasn't a con, or maybe that wasn't a pro, and kind of switch it around for the next meeting that we have. Evaluation and assessment. So we're going to do a pre-test and a post-test, and both of those are going to tie into Super's career development assessment and counseling. So with that, we're going to record those quantitative results for each student to further analysis and evaluation of individual and total data sets. It's going to be the CDAC assessment as far as what their career goals are. All right, now we're on to grade 11 lesson plan. This lesson plan is for 11th graders only, just because it's the year 4 graduating from high school, and they're going to be really focused on jobs, college applications, things like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to follow some interviewing information. ASCA standards, Standard A, Standard B, and Standard C will all three be included in this. And the purpose of this is to introduce students to explore different career types and what kind of interviewing processes is there going to be required for college and for job applications. Time frame, about 45 minutes, just like the others. Materials, same as well. Classroom, internet access, and I want that internet access because, once again, I want them to kind of search and see what kind of interview processes they can find, and what are some goals and some tips that they have as well that they can find on the internet. Some activities, I want them to verbally identify how effective interviewing can be to prepare for a job or for a college application to get you that step in. Discussion, I want them to review the information that they found on the internet with myself and their peers as well, if there's any around, and the information presented in the lesson. For them to think further, I want to ask students to identify future career goals and future income goals, because what that's going to do, it's going to inspire them to want to do great on those interviews and be fully prepared. Evaluation assessment is going to be the same as the others as well, the pre-test and the post-test for Super's career development assessment and counseling, and we're going to take those results to kind of get the student further analysis and evaluation of an individual of total data. All right, now we're on the final lesson plan for grade 12. This is really going to heavily focus on college resources for grade 12. That is because this is the last year of high school. So really need to break down and focus. Not that we haven't been over the past 4 years of high school, but this is where it really matters. Still focused on that superhero superpower, but like I said, kind of more tailored to that high school 12th grade, which is college resources. ASCA standards, Standard A, B, and C included in this. Time frame, about 45 minutes as well. Materials, just like the others, classroom, internet access, lesson-related instructional materials as well. The objective is for students to identify different colleges that align with their skills and their interests for the future. The purpose of it as well is to introduce students to types of colleges and information about paying for college and how to apply. Introduction is going to be, I want to talk with students about what it is to work, to have a job, to have a career, to discuss different types of colleges. How are you going to pay for college? Do we need to talk about loans? Do we need to talk about financial aid? Do we need to talk about grants? All that information is going to be tied into this as well. Activities, I'm going to have students verbally identify what they know about college and what they know about how to pay for college. I also want them to discuss different goals and interests as well, because that's going to align them to certain colleges. Do you want to stay in the state? Do you want to leave the state? Do you want to go to a different town? What are we wanting to do as far as college? Where do you want to go as far as college? Because that's going to play a role as in how expensive it's going to be as well. Thinking further, I want students to identify what college does align with their career path. Just like at the top for the purpose, I want them to really dig deeper to find out within themselves what interests them. So what college is going to interest you by what interests you have. Evaluation and assessment, just like the others as well. Pre-test, post-test with Super's career development assessment and counseling to get those different results to kind of tie it in and see what we need to do in the future or what we can fix right now.